Congressman Stanton, so that hearing with Kari Lake, you were talking a lot about the 2022 election.
Yeah.
Are you aware of these new allegations that came out about run-back commingling, voted mail-in ballots with blank ballots?
No, the point I was making is that she's running Voice America, which has to tell the truth about America internationally, and yet she herself, has been adjudicated, and courts have sanctioned her for not telling the truth. And
do you think that it's fair when 60% of the machines break down on Election Day in Maricopa County, when Republicans are turning out to vote more than Democrats?
All right.
Do you think that's a fair election?
Yeah,
I don't have one.
Yeah.
Is that a fair election?
Kari Lake was sued for defamation, and she took a default judgment. That means it's adjudicated.
Okay, you avoided the question.
Is
Is it a fair election when you have 60% of the voting day machines breaking down?
We're going to accept. You want to comment on election conspiracies?
Is it a fair election? Do you think is that a fair election, sir?
We're not going to the election.
All right. And you talked about the mail-in ballot signatures. I've actually looked at those signatures firsthand. I've seen the signatures on the ballots compared to the voter registration records. They look nothing alike.
Let me say something. Arizona, the election administration in Arizona, they run some of the best elections in the United States of America. And those elections are fair.
Sure,
and I honor and respect the election officials in Arizona, including Stephen Richer, including Bill Gates, who Kari Lake defamed. And she was found by a court to have defamed them because instead of defending her false allegations,
she took a default judgment.
She took a default judgment, which means
middle of an election.
Under the law, she's admitting that she lied about the election officials. Stephen Richer and Bill Gates are two of the most honorable people I know. And I believe that they are some of the best election officials I know. And so
like Bill Gates, you agree that the 2022 election where 60% of the machines failed on election day was run, quote, extremely well.
I believe that the 2020 election was accurate, and the person that the most voters voted for was the winner of that election.
So you do think it's fair that 60%? So you do think it's fair for 60% of machines to break down an election?
I believe that Stephen Richer and Bill Gates are two of the best election officials in the country, and the right person was elected in that. The person that was elected by the most people, voted by the most people, won that election.
Stephen Richer, whose stated goal in life was to, quote, make Kari Lake's life hell.
I believe that Stephen Richer and Bill Gates are two of the best election officials in the country. And when
still
instead of acknowledging when you
my
lost
questions,
and conceding with the right,
you're just saying the same thing. You haven't answered any of my questions. Do you think it's fair for 60% of the machines to break down on election day? Do you think that's fair, sir?
Yeah. Stephen Richer and Bill Gates are two of the best election officials in the entire United
Do
States
you
of
think
America,
it's fair?
And they do not deserve the defamation.
Do you think it's fair for 60% of voting machine to break down on election day?
I believe that Bill Gates and Stephen Richer are two of the best election officials in the entire United States of America.
You're not answering my question. So you don't. I'll take that as a no. You don't think it's fair for 60%
I believe that Stephen Richer and Bill Gates are outstanding elected officials.
Again, avoiding the question.
And so, avoiding the question, I'm telling you exactly right. That all of the election lies have been proven false in court.
Is it fair? That's simple question. Yes or no? Is it fair for 60% of machines to break down on election day?
I believe that Bill Gates and Stephen Richer were defamed by Kari Lake, and a court of law determined that because Kari Lake refused to defend her lies and instead took a default judgment when she admits those lies.
Still not answering the question. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.